Hi guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Jenna and I'm Empress of Horror. So the film I'm going to be talking about today is House of Wax. This film came out in 2005 and it was directed by Jaume Collet-Serra, who also directed Orphan. This film was starring Elisha Cuthbert, Chad Michael Murray, Jared Padalecki and Paris Hilton. And it only scored 26% on Rotten Tomatoes, but I think it deserves a way higher score because I love this movie. This one follows a group of teenagers on their way to a football game. They decide to stop and camp overnight, and while they're camping they encounter a weird guy who is trying to mess with their vehicle. They wake up in the morning to discover a problem with one of their car's engines. So half of the group head off to the football game while Carly and Wade stay back to try and fix the car. They find a little town nearby and while looking for the garage, they stumble upon a house of wax. Of course they go inside for a look around, even though it's abandoned and says no entry, but they quickly discover that there's a lot more in this town made of wax than just the figures in the museum. So I really love this movie. I saw it for the first time a couple of months ago, and this film is also kind of the reason why I wanted to start making review videos. Personally, my favourite thing to do after I've watched a good horror movie is go straight to YouTube and watch the reviews and see what other people thought. And when I did this with this movie, I straight away found, for one, no women reviewing it, which there's nothing wrong with men doing reviews, there's just quite a lot of them and there's not that many women on here reviewing videos. And also almost every review video I watched about this film had a guy bashing Paris Hilton for being in this movie. There was body shaming, there was slut shaming, there was just all round nastiness. Like, I get it, if you don't like Paris Hilton, that's fair enough, like everyone's entitled to their own opinions. However, I just don't really think it's necessary when making a review video to sit and completely shame one of the actors for being in a film just because you don't like them. And that just kind of pissed me off, and it also inspired me to start my own channel. I just feel like there's not really a big female presence in the horror community on YouTube, and I wanted to add to that, so here I am. Okay, so now I'm going to talk about this film a little bit more in depth. So if you haven't seen this movie and you don't want me to ruin it for you, go watch it and then come back. So as I said, I really like this movie. There is really not a lot I didn't enjoy. I think it's a really good classic 2000s horror film. It is full of classic horror tropes. So if you like really cliche, tropey horror teen movies, you will definitely enjoy this film. For starters, all the characters in this film were great. We had all of our kind of classic teens in the movie. We have Elisha Cuthbert playing Carly, who's the main girl, the final girl. We had her boyfriend Wade, played by Jared Padalecki, who was the nice guy. And then we had Nick, the bad boy, played by Chad Michael Murray. And we had Paris Hilton playing the kind of bimbo character. And for the record, I think she was great in this movie. So classic teen horror lineup. We also start off in a camping setting and someone creepy comes along and immediately sets the kind of scary tone. It was just giving you lots of Friday 13th kind of vibes in the beginning of the movie. However, despite all of the cliches, they do a really good job of evolving this movie and moulding it into something really interesting and unique. The setting of this film is fantastic. The little town that they go to try and get the car repaired, it's just beautifully crafted. All the little houses and the little kind of vintage garage, and there's a little church. It looks really cute and unassuming at first, although once you find out that everything, including the people in there, are made of wax, it becomes really sinister. I also just love the entire concept of this movie. I love that they are in this little secluded town that's kind of cut off from the rest of the world, and two crazy brothers have completely overrun the town, murdered everyone in it and turned them into wax figures. This film has a really disturbing undertone. One of the things I loved about this movie was, yes, it was quite tropey and cliched at times. However, they also took that and completely spun it on its head. Like, for example, how Wade, Carly's boyfriend, is the first person in this film to be murdered. You really don't see that coming. I swear, I had Wade picked for a final guy in this movie, so I was really shocked when he was literally the first one to be killed. Also, the contraption that killed Wade was fantastic. It was like a saw trap, I swear. He was strapped to this chair and they were spraying hot wax on them, and that's basically how they kill their victims. They spray them with hot wax and turn them into wax figures, and that is so disturbing. It's even more disturbing when you realise that all of the people you see dotted around this town, they've had the exact same thing done to them. And the worst part is you don't even die instantly. You're trapped in this wax shell and you just have to die. Oh, it's really terrifying. Like, if you really think about it, it's really horrific. And that brings me to the gore in this movie. So I am a bit of a gore fan. In fact, that's a lie. I'm a complete gore fan. I really like blood and guts and horribleness. The kills in this film were really great. I enjoyed all of them. My favourite one definitely was Wade's death. When his friend finds him in the museum and he sees him as a wax figure, he goes up and tries to help him by peeling all of the wax off of his face, although his entire face crumbles off. It's great. Also, Paris Hilton, she has quite an iconic death scene in this movie. She peeks her head up out of a car looking for the bad guy, and she gets hit right through the head with a big spike, and it's wonderful. Also, just want to give the creators of this film props for the practical effects in this movie. They were all really good. I am a fan of practical effects. I genuinely found this film so entertaining. It has a runtime of 153 minutes, which is quite long for a horror film. It's a decent amount of time, and I honestly did not find myself checking the time or looking at my phone or wondering when this is going to be over. Not once, and that to me is just a good sign of a really good horror movie. Even in the parts of this movie where there weren't scary things happening, I was still really entertained. I was completely engrossed in this world that they were in. There was just so much interesting content in this film that I was completely sold on the story from the very beginning. So the only critique I have, and it's not even really a critique, I just kind of felt like Alicia Cuthbert and her character Carly, I feel like she had a little bit more chemistry with Chad Michael Murray, who was playing her brother, than she did with Jared Padalecki, who was playing her boyfriend Wade. I don't know, Wade and Carly just, I feel like they had more of a brother-sister dynamic than what Chad Michael Murray and she had, which is weird, but I can understand why Chad Michael Murray got the role of her brother as opposed to the boyfriend, because he's obviously the more famous name in this film, and had he played the role of her boyfriend, he would have been killed off in the first 45 minutes. But that was the only thing, and I really enjoyed Paris Hilton in this movie. I was thinking a lot about rating this film and what number should I give it, because the way I'm talking about it, it really shouldn't get any less than a 10, and then I was like, I don't feel like, I don't know, 10 doesn't sit right with me, does it? But do you know what? Fuck it. I think this film is a 10 out of 10. I loved it. People might disagree with me on this one. If you don't think it's a 10, that's completely fair enough. But that's the good thing about it being my show and not yours. So thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Please leave your thoughts in the comment section. I'd love to hear what you think about this film, if you like it as much as I did, or if you completely hate it. Tell me. And so, like I said in the video from last week, I've been thinking about some more content to bring to this channel, and I'm going to start doing videos called Franchise Friday. So I'm basically just going to choose a horror franchise, and every Friday I'll put up a review video of me chatting about films from that movie franchise. I haven't exactly decided which movie franchise I want to start off with, so I'll probably be doing a little poll on my Instagram story. So if you want to have a say, keep an eye on my story and there will be something there soon. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you guys very soon. Thank you so much. Bye!